The attackers moving immediately towards mid control, but they're spotted at least one. We're going to get a nice slow beginning to this. And as we heard from the desk, Ryan was mentioning the end, you've got those two initiators over on the side of FUT. Can be a big difference maker to how annoying they can be when they're pushing into these sites.
Yeah, the thing is though, Vitality, their whole composition revolves around explosiveness. A nice little pop flash is going to catch Twisten completely off guard. Vitality, a team which normally do very poorly in these pistol rounds. They got an advantage for just a second, but they'll hold it at least for now, down to that 1v1, and BONECOLD is going to be there to close it.
Yeah, wow, a round of
They finally managed to win themselves a pistol, and then they lose the second round instead.
Can't do that this time. Already one player dropped. You know, the opening duel for FUT, but the response is there. And you got to take a look at the economy of Vitality right now. They're investing a lot into this round. I would say from this point, any kill that FUT can get is a positive.
And this has been a stack up pretty much from the beginning. 4 players here from FUT, the 5th in MrFaliN rotating over, of course, trying to use the ropes to his advantage. But again, space is going to be taken. ceNder putting another one in the dirt, and waiting for this. I don't know how he's managed to get that kill. Of course, we know about the ropes, but it's eventually cleaned up. Rifles will be kept through the paranoia, and if that's gone, it becomes very difficult for them to work the map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a problem that I think, or would be a problem for a lot of teams, but Vitality's success when they do rely on this chaos and blitz in is remarkable as well. And it depends on the day, I suppose. It can be hit or miss. This time around, coming in with just the one pistol on Twisten, not wanting to overinvest, so a strong bonus round for Vitality.
He's also probably just going to almost like suicide dive into the side. So.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the whole goal with this composition is he's not going to have the best stats in the world. If he does, they've probably already won the map. But he is going to take that space for the team, and then you're looking at someone like MOLSI, BONECOLD, maybe Destrian to get those trades almost immediately.
They've used the cage to creep across, but MOLSI was spotted on the way. Either way, they knew that they were giving up this control. Cracks rotate through, so FUT stacked up on the A site now. You've also got some help here from mojj, who hasn't yet been spotted up top. They'll look to rely on a little bit of a surprise play, but he's been caught. The boombot seeing him, maybe needs some support as he falls down, and there it is! It's qRaxs! The double kill coming through! And having control for Vitality, sure, it might still be there, but the man holding it has the spike. A very dangerous situation ahead of this attacking side.
qRaxs just throwing out a little bit of utility, but they are holding off. Just look at the deep beat push already. Mid being watched, spam from ceNder will at least garner one, but you're now mainly looking at Destrian to see if he can make this costly at all, and with the amount of time left, they might even just have to hold on to the weapons.
Oh, they've actually heard Kiwi coming, and still he's able to find that kill. Never mind the rope accuracy, he jumped off it there. Oh, that's gonna hurt. At the end of the day, the round was already lost, but they would have liked to save that second weapon through, I'm sure.
As well, even Giants to an extent from Vitality, they can be a really tough team to play against on this attack side, and straight away we're going to see them just walking up and getting that mid control for themselves. If they manage to put themselves in a split position, it can be fairly difficult for the hold, but as you sort of mentioned, like having this double initiator is not only going to allow sort of more passive holds to come out from the side of FUT, but it allows them to do that without just giving up the entirety of the map, even though when you look at the sort of spacing, it seems that's exactly what they've done.
Still traps, still the cam up in heaven, a player watching cross. It's a solid enough hold from FUT, but they don't have qRaxs to help them out in retaking the heaven control, to pop those flashes for them and help them out. It could be a tougher one. Smoke's already going up, hoping they walk into the trap wire down below, but that ain't happening. It's a full heaven crunch. Nobody there to receive it. So we're going to just look at Kiwi with a actually very passive hold as they start to blitz in through the spawn. An interesting attempt, but this time qRaxs has made the rotation in time, not able to get the flash out. And that's the pressure now put onto mojj, who's not able to handle it. The last man on site, ATAKAPTAN. He's delivered time and time again. A little bit too much asked of him this time.
Oh, he's just been baited by Twisten's dash, swinging that aim all the way across, and well, MrFaliN, they know exactly where he is. Breaks the trip. ceNder's going to take him down as well. A 3-1 start from Vitality, and that's one of those rounds where you kind
MOLSI popping off like crazy. Majority of the roster. ceNder's the one leading the charge right now. 7-2. And I mean, he has just looked clean in all the fights we've seen him. Good positioning, even dating back to the pistol round. Great signs for Team Vitality ahead. Like we said, that bonus round that they lose out on. They had the legs to fight in it, but there were some weaknesses. Now that ain't going to be a factor for quite a while. And FUT, they're found to be in the same position. Bulldogs, Spectre backing up their rifles. It's not going to be easy. And on that defensive side, they do seem to have a read. It feels like every time that Vitality moved towards the site, the FUT side have already got qRaxs in position to help out. And it's a big factor for them in locking these sites down.
Yeah, a lot of the time he's playing the rotator. It seems like this round at least, not so much.
Oh!
He's going to be in position, the jump spot completely isolated, and he's going to go into the site. The paranoia is good, and well, wall banged out of position. Sight under control, and in terms of the weaponry for a retake, it's not fantastic. Kiwi has just walked directly past. Neither player seemingly realizing. And well, I guess with Vitality, they now just end up in the same post plan they would have been in anyway.
Yeah, I mean, another example of excellent positioning from ceNder. Obviously, he didn't walk through the smoke and kill him in the back, but no way he could know to do that. Just his sense of the safe spaces that he has in these rounds. FUT don't seem to want to go for this anymore. I mean, it's way too late at this point, I'd imagine, especially with mojj's position. They're playing containment. They want these players on Vitality to lose all of those credits they've worked so hard to build up. They want them to die to the spike, and, well, there's an opportunity to at least make this costly with mojj sitting outside B main. They're ready for it. It's an awkward enough position. One player dropped, but here's where the big damage could come through.
Yeah, the two players dying to the spike is actually the biggest surprise.
Yeah, very low after the previous engagement.
Now, the thing is, financially, Vitality weren't actually in that much trouble. But they've still got the ult points on their side as well. And that's not the greatest of start. The ATAKAPTAN is going to be able to find one.
I think it's important to point out for sure that for Vitality, like we said, they lost weapons in the previous, but that's more so like the stone has hit the lake. And we'll see if the ripple effects can come in later on, but that initial kerplunk ain't doing too much right off the rip. Vitality 4-1. mojj, good positioning here. He's caught by the Pumbaa, but he still gets the kill. Pops off his ult as well. These players now down on site, spotted. The player late in B main that maybe was thinking about coming for a mid flank, that ain't gonna be possible anymore, not for a while. Still plenty of time left in the round with the spike to go down. Ah, Destrian almost got up there.
Yeah, for now at least. No command is gonna deny that showstopper. But the longer this round goes on, the more likely that is to come back into play. So they need to get a move on. They need to move into this site quickly. MOLSI still just waiting close. Flash avoided, just waiting patiently and in the crossfire. They're still yet to get that spike down. And there goes the showstopper, but he's caught out of the sky. MrFaliN with a double. 2 headshots to take him out. And
but this is what we're worried about. It's the Blade Storm coming through. The updraft finds nothing to start. And we're looking to move to the other side of the map immediately by the looks of things. They have drawn the rotate.
And they had the spike there all along. So it seems like, well, not finding the cam. That could be huge. If he gets the timing right on the pop of this, he might just spot the entirety of the team, but I think they're a little bit more patient. I don't know, maybe he saw Destrian, but I don't think he saw the rest of the players building up here. However, look at the rotations.
That's more so the thing, you know, even though I believe he only saw the one player, that doesn't matter. They've called for the gamble, they've rolled the dice, and this time it doesn't look too good, actually. They need someone to step it up. Trades back and forth, but not good enough for the defenders. That's leaving just one man, ATAKAPTAN, to take on these final two. We said ceNder's positioning had been sublime. He popped down a trap, so he's known to be around here. ATAKAPTAN ready for this fight, but ceNder, where could he be? Anywhere on this rafter, there could be a player down below ready to fight with him, and instead they reposition. Now the double peek is possible, and it's not even needed. Destrian with an off angle will pick off ATAKAPTAN. They start out on even ground, thin out those defenders, and as you saw, ATAKAPTAN was the anchor on the other side of the map, so not much he can do. Oh, we're right in! Dashing past him out on the rope. qRaxs not sure where to look, where to put his crosshair. And that decision better be made quickly. He's already dropped MOLSI. Here comes Twisten to try and recover. Trades are good, but at the end of the day, FUT are coming way ahead. And at the last second, BONECOLD pops a kill, gets a res, and they're not able to punish. They need one of these kills. Vitality are caught by MrFaliN, who's still going. And the trade is good at just about recovering on that round. Instant trade coming out from Kiwi as well. I mean, well coordinated in that last 2vx. Good decision making. They gave themselves the opportunities to convert, but still a really, really tough round if you're going to rely on that again and again. This time, though, Vitality, like you're saying, there's more than one classic in play here. Vitality aren't in a good spot economically. They've decided to keep their credits for the next round, and anyone that has something to spend is putting it on the line here to give them a fighting chance, but that chance is quite low.
Well, the reason Destrian has less is because they're putting it into that paranoia again. just to try and give them that little bit of extra space, and it seems to work wonderfully. MOLSI and Twisten, they have so much faith in these two players to just pop open this site. Again, a single flash is all they need to obliterate the defense of FUT. And all they can do is flee. All they can do is fall back and hold on to their guns. That was 2 rifles, a sheriff, and, well, a paranoia. That's it. The classics don't even matter. It's the paranoia. The way they use one piece of util.
And as we said earlier, their only piece of util that does that, right? Like, you have to use it well, and they did. So
this is the thing. I'll always harp on assists when it comes from a controller. Like, I'll talk about how the fact that someone walking through a smoke can give Destrian 3 kills.
Yeah.
Or 3 assists, sorry.
Yeah.
But his assists on this map really do matter. What he's able to do with that paranoia is huge, and while Kiwi, that's a gun lost, a face that really isn't worth it. Again, you look at the economy on the other side for Vitality, they lose a gun.
And Twisten is undeniably strong. This is somewhere we want to see FUT start to recover, but this round leaves them with very little. A rifle on MrFaliN, and that has fallen down on the ground, and to be recovered, Kiwi will pick it up. Dash online, activated. He's going to look to swing this for sure, and there's the shot. BONECOLD down, and a potential weapon recovered for this squad, if they could get into main, but that cross is watched.
It makes this take a lot more one-dimensional. A lot of the time, they've had B main control. He's just spotted both players, I think.
Yeah, run to A.
2 within the site. And this is instantly going to force that rotation away. And even with that realization, finally the steps are going to be heard, but they are late.
Yeah, and this is a round where qRaxs, he could be looking to play through that smoke with a flash instead, though, moving down to screens to try cover the cross, make it costly, make sure these guys don't get extra space for free. But Vitality have no interest in extra space at this point. It's about planting that spike and looking to punish as FUT walk back through.
They've got Showstopper now as well, I believe. MOLSI given the plant. So, again, even if this gets the slightest bit risky, they can throw that in, delay for time, or even just try and kill off a player or two. And that's if they need it. With this one rifle in play, unable to retrieve anything else, it seems. And a bit of an off-angle sat back ceNder again. Always so good in these late round positions.
Crunch out of heaven. I mean, it's being spotted from so many different angles, and you're talking about pistols for most of those players, all of the first ones to fall. In fact, that is the expected result. The series could definitely change pace when we move to a map 2, and I think we saw that even most recently with the Fnatic game. That was quite the switch up from map 1 to, I don't know, 1.5? We play like half a map in the rest of the series. It was over in about 10 minutes.
They angered the beast. You don't do that.
Well, Kiwi's angered up here, already ripping ceNder's life from the server. Look at the B site. Rotations coming through, but they're not here just yet. I think they might have to play the retake on this one. Those players have blitzed all over it. qRaxs able to pick up one, but he's spotted. Destrian atop the wall, catching him off guard on this one. Where was BONECOLD going? Running it down into spawn. I think he heard mojj and pod. That's the one player they had down there. Well, and he was so wrong. A sneaky play by MOLSI. He's going to have to fire that soon. There's someone in the corner, and he ran out of time. ATAKAPTAN's dropped him and left Destrian to do it all.
This is impossible. He's being flanked. He finds that kill at least for free, but Kiwi is so quick on that re-peek. Not going to allow him to reposition, not going to give him any space whatsoever. And a much better round from FUT. Also, a much more calm round from them as well. I think with how aggressive we've seen Vitality go into this B site, this time out, I think with it being more direct,
they're going to be throwing them in right from the start. And obviously the Bladestorm being the first example of that. Twisten having it, Kiwi on the same, but an op to back him up. And it certainly made the difference in some of those early picks. Just the last round picking off ceNder, now following the Tiger down through mid to see if he can catch a frag. I mean, this is going to be very costly information if they decide to swing it.
But this is one of the things with the operator that becomes quite a bit more difficult for Vitality, because they don't have a lot to section this player off. You've got smokes, you've got single flash. You don't really want to use it for a player that's holding an operator. So instead, they almost just have to try and bypass him, gamble as to where he is playing. But as said, a lot more of a focus on mid-control, not allowing Kiwi that same sort of space, but you best believe he's not just going to sit there.
Destrian doing his best Angel impression on this one, making his way into the vents very early on. They crossed over, they picked the right side for the op to be on, smoking him off. Great control. And, you know, we've seen this from Vitality already, the attempt to blitz into heaven, crunch it. and use Destrian through the vents. It's not being successful because they're just playing outside of heaven with traps there. mojj looking to punish exactly that, but Twisten has got him instead. An insane opening for them, but they've still to deal with ATAKAPTAN. And he even has some support from Mr. He doesn't have any support now. He's gone, just like that.
And then over the top of the wall into the Cosmic Divide is not going to make things easy. A late plant, but a plant nonetheless, and Destrian is still in the backlines. He even has ceNder for support over on the ramp. Clearing these players out is not going to be easy, but the thing is Vitality know, okay, let's look to play in the crossfire. We've got that player late lurking in behind. The pop flash hasn't worked at all. If anything, it's just helped out Vitality with the delay, and more importantly, it's been heard.
Oh, okay, Kiwi! The right click used up, but that's good enough. Also going to be the rifle recovered, but the teammate falling, and that is a brave move. Maybe even trying to get the res on, I'm not sure. But we'll end up with a team ace. Maybe. And whoever loses is actually being done a favor. You never know. Probably won't look at it that way. I bet they'd rather be in Japan, but you know, it is what it is. 4-8 right now. And look, FUT, they haven't had control, but this pistol round, it could change the tide of this game altogether. You can see that they are going heavy into vent on this. Spike sitting outside of A. This is a crunch that they're going to attempt. And the distraction here, Destrian looking down towards A main, expecting a big push, already burned his paranoia, and he might wish that he had it now. These players coming up into heaven, Cage going out, MOLSI's ahead of it, but the flash catches him and he's down. Now they know MOLSI, or Destrian, excuse me, is up close, and he's going to be dealt with immediately. The third player though, can you expect it? He hasn't been caught, but he's been found. qRaxs dealing with Twisten right away, and sure, 1 kill for BONECOLD. It ain't gonna do too much. They need to fight their way back in here with a big response.
And they're doubling up over onto ramp, just making sure that a chance of this one slipping away is slim to none. ceNder still having to take the time to clear out some of these back positions, making sure he's not gonna be flanked in a moment's time, and well, instead he's about to walk into a layered approach from this attacking side. And while with BONECOLD the last man standing, an ace needed to bring them home the second pistol, it's not going to be happening. FUT might have just got themselves back in this game. Unbelievable. ceNder, he's actually not Boy Sheriff, I'm a little bit disappointed, but he is also unbelievable. And then you've got MOLSI as well, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's opportunities. They have gambled a lot of this towards mid-crunching and catching these players off, maybe in B main as well, but it's actually the one place they've left unchecked is exactly where FUT are going. Walking into the A site, that is wide open. Obviously, they're taking the time because they don't want to walk into some shorties and get shredded, but they're going to start to realize in the next 10 to 15 seconds that they can just waltz their way into this site.
Yeah, still. All of their utility being expended, clearing those back corners. But the fact is, a very easy take in the end. And an after plant, which realistically, if there's even 2 kills here, I'm going to be very, very surprised.
They heard Kiwi. They know that he's up close at this point. Sure, you get the first one. The double swing from MOLSI. And Twisten, never mind.
Never mind.
They've gotten absolutely nothing. Holding my breath for that one, and it doesn't come through for a damn thing except giving Kiwi some ult orbs as he steps even closer, or ult points, I suppose. As he steps 2 away now. Grabbing that Blade Storm could be a huge upgrade for them to have if things go awry. And these final players won't be too hard to deal with. You know, at this point, really, ceNder and Destrian, you don't want to die to these players. You certainly don't want to die to Kiwi. I think they're making the right call by just keeping them around and going down to the spike. It's the right play.
Well, he's got to actually die to the spike, but they will both go down. So yeah, not giving anything over. You don't, yeah, as you said, you don't want Kiwi getting
deny early B main control, especially when you're a little lighter over this side. It's not like they've got a lot of players here. Almost have a, it's not quite anti-flash, but the fact that ATAKAPTAN can tuck in on the box and you can double swing in afterwards, it's not bad. It certainly discourages any sort of aggression from Vitality. If they go for it, they'll be meeting a pretty tough hold. But when you go to 1:15 left on the clock and nobody's peeked their head around that corner, it is definitely time to start looking elsewhere. Wall up for Vitality in mid, late in the round, that could definitely be a headache for FUT. And they've been playing Cloak and Dagger, but they got to make some noise to break that.
Yeah, and with the amount of guns they've just heard shoot off, there's going to be a huge amount of info here. Knife's going to take away any utility. No nade to be thrown through to deal damage, and the cross, it hasn't actually found much either. In fact, not a single point of damage. Paranoia will slow them down. Now the nade finally comes through, but again, it hasn't done as much as maybe they would have hoped it would.
Destrian made a step when he was trying to dodge the flash. Kiwi heard it, locked on with sonar. qRaxs is following through. Vitality losing one player after another. BONECOLD, he's in a really tough spot. Has to watch his step moving through heaven. Every corner has a player around it. And his teammates trying to meet up with him. Twisten. Okay, BONECOLD gets to sneak up behind as well, but he's being watched. mojj was ready for that, somehow for the Heaven player to be first. Now he shifts his focus, but Twisten's able to deal double damage, taking down mojj and ATAKAPTAN. I don't even know how he gets the second one there. We're in a tough spot now where these attackers actually are under pressure, but MrFaliN, he might just have saved the day. The flash buying even more time, and Twisten really backed into a corner on this one. Speaking of corners, look at that. Just to his right, there's a player waiting, and qRaxs will get the reward for his patience. Another round found for FUT, and they're just one behind. You can see Kiwi's ready for it, absolutely. Bladestorm in hand. And the close left corner not fully cleared, but it's a tough shot for Twisten to hit. He has a rifle. That is a Mayday situation, but instead, it's smooth sailing. qRaxs on another with Destrian falling, A side wide open, Bladestorm to take space. This is perfect from FUT. I mean, barely putting a foot wrong, and the fact is Kiwi right now, Stinger in his back pocket, even if he goes down, he doesn't really care. It's worthwhile just running around, grabbing the space.
Well, as if it wasn't bad enough before. Knowledge of BONECOLD, and I don't know where MOLSI is. That's the only sort of surprise factor that's left at this stage, but I don't think it's going to play too much of a part in this round.
I like his moves, though. You know, dancing around. He used the rope to quickly jump to the side, almost like a mini dash. Anything other than the Sheriff there. And, you know, if he wasn't in the middle of reloading, probably help.
I think, again, it's almost just going to be a point of MOLSI dying to the spike. FUT now is starting to run away with this. Economy off the charts. Like, as you mentioned, like Kiwi only having a stinger for this round. It's not really going to matter too much in the grand scale of things. He's got so much cash left in the bank. And with the scoreline now equalized, like, try and have it as almost a direct counter for that level of aggression that you know is going to be happening. Posted up on opposite sides of the map, but Twisten already going to have that information given over, and straight away, FUT start to build in here. It's the battle of the operators. FUT looked so ready for that move to come in from Twisten. It's like the second he was knifed, they post up. Kiwi waiting for that peek, and it is a free early kill in this round.
Really good push and pull. I mean, they had this guy running it out of vents in case the utility cascade came falling down on him, but instead, it was the op train on the other side, now moving their way in towards the B site, which is being rotated off of Vitality, maybe expecting an A play. I'm not sure if it's the vent control. The trap they heard go down there, though, starts to shift them in the other direction. MOLSI trying to get here on time. He needs to help out ceNder, who's all alone in an unusual spot, but MrFaliN, despite losing the element of surprise, he was spotted and swung on, still ends up finding the kill, giving them the chance to plant that spike without any further losses. And now here come the Seekers, followed up on by an off-swing. That is dirty.
And now the question is, do you even go for this? Do you even try and fight back into this round? A 2 versus 4 scenario, an operator homed in, ready for you to try and make that peak, and it's not going to be happening. And there are so many sort of small details that actually end up sort of changing this round. I think the operator being in play actually hurts the setup that ceNder had. So he had some ridiculous trip that went across to catch the dash. Now it did catch the dash after 2 players had already gone into the site because he had an operator. You're not going to go in first on the dash. So it just made it so much more awkward for ceNder. And well, what will make it a lot more awkward for Vitality is if they lose all these remaining weapons. Not a lot to play with, maybe hoping they can get that operator in the last second. And well, it's literally, I think it's literally just because he has an operator. Yep. Like, that changed the round. It's almost unlucky for ceNder, if anything.
And that's the lead. Now in the hands of FUT, 9-8. A few more rounds and they'll be 1-0 up in a series where their map is up next. And Lotus, where I believe they stomped Vitality last, like 13-4, wasn't it?
Yep.
Barely put up a fight. Now maybe, look, definitely they've improved since then. They've looked at that VOD. They won't make the same mistakes, but there's plenty more mistakes for them to make in FUT. Well, they can keep the same old game plan if they want to. If it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. 1 minute on the clock. And this attacking side hasn't quite made its mind up yet. I think there's still a fake on B to be seen before these A players actually announce their arrival. Maybe not, because the flash in the backside. Are they trying to make it look like an A? Are they double faking?
That's the thing. They've got a lot of their utility over on that B side. That was the thing. They showed their major utility agents on one side and then have the rest sort of pushing in, almost using it as a fake. The peek out again, though. Kiwi has just been devastating with these openers. MOLSI, now the only defender. Rotation coming through, but mojj has been bypassed. At least gives a slight opportunity. They're running out of time. 15 seconds on this clock. BONECOLD still waiting, but caught off guard. mojj is able to find the kill. Destrian, he whips as they get through.
Nade, it's too late.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not going to stop anything.
It lights his HP up, but that's all it comes down to. Hello! Well, mojj not able to react in time, but the reload going through means MOLSI's dead. ceNder has to clutch this out in the 1v3, or we're going to see FUT, the team that was 8-4 down at the half, lead 10-8, reaching double digits first, winning the race there, but and they'll be on the home stretch to close out this map and maybe even the series. Devastating times ahead for Vitality in this clutch. It could save them. The flash, not actually great, but the kill certainly is. 10.
A lot of retakes because the round has been over. That's where his utility is really going to have that value, unless they can sort of catch a play from FUT, but they've been so slow, methodical, like even last round, leaving it to 12 seconds. They're comfortable doing that.
The punishes have been there on the side of FUT. They may be yet again. Somehow I feel like this is the round for Vitality. You know, they come in with some pistols and my faith is recovered. The movement in through middle again, looking for the vents control, and it's looking to be a split on A.
It is literally the 2 rifle, 3 low buy weapon. We saw this. We saw this in the last half. The difference is momentum was in their favor.
Tom, both players on the A side are the players with sheriffs.
So they're going to get all the kills.
Either terrible for them or it's the best possible outcome. Destrian off to a good start. BONECOLD with another. Rifle recovered. Another for one of his teammates if they rotate down through middle. Don't think they will. Might not be worth the risk just to swap over that stinger. Great position for BONECOLD to hold. qRaxs does well to punish. That'll get them access to the site. And Kiwi still roaming. No dash online. Up in hand players. Plenty of players around the corner. He gets one, but that's all he can find.
Utility denied. Information, however, has been claimed. Both players cornered into the back of site. They're going to swing this one together. Just look to win the duels and turning this into a 1v1. qRaxs feeling so confident in his ability. A MOLSI tag low. Again, utility removed. And he's just going to headshot him through the corner of the wall. This man is...
That could be big. You know, qRaxs already used his ultimate, so you're not going to be able to cancel it out in quite the same way. A res online for BONECOLD as well. This could be huge. This is their round to fight back into it. Rifles and ult economy going in their favor. The only thing they don't have is an operator. And Kiwi most certainly has one of those.
Yeah, I think the only other thing they don't have is a round in this half. But they are struggling right now.
You've just broken the cam with a rifle. He's going to peek that for info. Of course he is. Shoulder peek it later, jump peek it. A slightly shallow angle held by Kiwi, but now he's ready for that jump peek to go through. I think he will have been spotted by that. I'm not 100% sure, but he's patient, waiting for this to come through again. Cage up, so there'll be no punish for now.
That's the thing. ceNder needs to keep fighting for this info. They don't really have any other way to get it. That is the flaw with this comp, and Twisten's going to go down again. He has been the entry fragged for the majority of this half. And the TP across isn't even stuck because there hasn't been a move. Again, the patience of FUT, just waiting out this utility on the other side, and now they will pounce.
This is it though, the showstopper fired out. The chance for Vitality, MOLSI got one, stayed alive. Oh, there's the shot from Kiwi. Finally, the patience pays off as FUT storm the site. Man advantage and the plan to come through. The players they're against though, they might reclaim some space and grab a res if all those bodies weren't on the site. FUT will stay there and defend them, deny any chance for the numbers to go back to even. For Vitality to claim that, they'll have to land some shots, and that operator's still a worry. It's not caught by the paranoia, and we know what happens next. FUT, 12, thanks a lot, Tom. Well done, look what you've done. But Kiwi repositions, now looks to mid, dash online. And a chance to punish. There were 3 players there, and they wisely start to step back. That control, not giving them the early kill or the early advantage. Not exactly what we wanted on that one, but that's okay. There was no one there to punish on the other side. They would have been blind even if they were. 4 chances to close this out. Not a single attack round lost so far. And FUT are once again focusing on the A site. I thought MOLSI was rotating off, but he's playing in heaven, so they're going to be stacked up. Vitality have a good chance here.
Yeah, the problem is we've said that every single round, and it hasn't mattered. Info there, free kill, nice work from ceNder.
Big player to take down as well. Flash is now waning a little bit. qRaxs obviously has them, but MrFaliN's util's been on point. Tough for them to work around that.
This is the man you need to kill, though. This is the man. Kiwi has been unstoppable thus far. Twisten in the site, ceNder already gone. It's going to be reliant on this man, and he's been quiet over the last few rounds. Hasn't had much of an opportunity. This would be it. Opening kill is here. MOLSI swings as well. The distraction made, and they'll trade things out. It took them 8.
They've got 3 players here. Sky Flash popped out right at the start, and that has pushed Vitality backwards. You almost think that being denied this control will send them looking for information elsewhere. But for now, especially with the A site held down by Cypher, they're pretty happy to just stay in position.
The other thing as well is every time they've gone looking for information, they've been met by a Kiwi op.
Exactly.
Like, you just don't want to be facing off against that man. And you can almost just see FUT very willing to just walk up and take this control. As I said, this is a composition that almost relies around aggression, relies around taking map control. And FUT at this stage have conditioned their opponent to the point where they go, yep, one smoke, let's just walk up mid.
Seekers only showing 2 of the players to be towards the A site. That's just due to the pathing, and I think how far away ceNder was. They'll know that the Cypher's here once they see the utility, but Kiwi's just fallen to the nade. A fade back throw by MOLSI, and it's got them the advantage. A huge kill to take as well. Paranoia still here for Destrian, but he peeks out. He gets dropped now. ceNder's kind of alone here. He's got his cages up, but this player's absolutely everywhere. It's going to be hard to isolate duels, and now he's isolated even more. The Cosmic Divide coming through, and he's just not good enough for that kill on the site. Even the trade wouldn't have helped them out that much. And losing BONECOLD. That's insult to injury. As you say, Tom, the res is down, and MrFaliN has fallen, but look at the HP of Twisten.
They still don't have the information. 2 players have fallen back. Cam activated as well. Just waiting for anybody to give them that little bit of extra information, and because of that, qRaxs is split back. An easy kill on the first. Twisten low. This has to be done. FUT from the ashes rise back up. 8-4 down to close this with relative ease.
Things, all 5 players here, and they are blitzing it down. Paranoia used by MrFaliN could put a spanner in the works, delay it somewhat, but he needs help. He needs support. Good flash up top. No one there to punish on the back, but already going to throw their utility in to force these players out into the open. There's the spike drop on the back of it, but Vitality are winning every single duel! Twisten's got 3, and that'll get the plant for Vitality.
It looked like a risky play, but it's one that's worked for them. They got to make sure they don't lose their cool, though. 2 players low on HP, and Kiwi has been shredding anyone that faces in. The dash forward, well, a bullet or 2 away from taking down Twisten, but synergized FUT's utility is going to be throughout this map. And look at the stack. They're all here.
I mean, we're getting back into the game and seeing 5 players waiting. This could be dangerous. The shorty, though, fired off. Nothing to be found on the back of it. Still, they need to thin out these numbers. FUT just have too many players here to punish with. Rifle picked up by Kiwi, 1 HP as he makes his way through, but he'll still find a kill. There's the shorty for MrFaliN. It's looking doable until he's left alone with 22 HP and a pretty close range weapon to work with. They've spotted him. And that's the end of his life. Surely, they've gone for the drone. He's got 1 more. It became close.
Things are going to be incredibly difficult. And you actually look at the investment here. They're still going to have 4 rifles. ceNder basically with no finances left for the next round.
Oh, we've seen the 3rd site of CB hit quite a bit. This time it's the A site that's under threat. Right away, the dash in from Twisten. Utility keeps his teammates back. And when they eventually make their way forward, BONECOLD a little too early on that one. They are met with some lockdown that could come into play a little bit later on. Stun on A. It won't get them much. I mean, they're popping this stun out. They're slowing down this A control, but these players had already breached main. They're watching long. They're watching short. They know that there's no aggression coming through on the other side. ceNder exclusively responsible for watching their back here. Alarm bot for C, turret for mid, and he himself only has a sheriff, so he's just quickly spotting out a lot of these angles at the start of the round, but they eventually look to move towards this spot here in Garage. They're going to be spotting their alarm bot on the way through and clearing it out. All the players falling back from it. MrFaliN retaking the space, but it won't necessarily matter. Vitality haven't made their mind up on where they're going till now. And I think they're starting to get the idea that the A site is where they want to hit.
50 seconds left. This is such a nasty little double pick. There's a chance that both go down immediately. The dart, a little bit of a distraction, but they don't budge at all. Trades, though, not bad. Still one player, still defending this site. ATAKAPTAN already stunned up, and he's going to be taken out as well. A good push in towards this A site and after plant guaranteed.
30 seconds left.
Spike down on the floor now. Time ticking for FUT to make their way back through. No paranoia to work with. Very little utility. This has got to come down to aim duels one. And double stack up in the corner doesn't make that all too easy to do. The first is found, the follow-up not there. Vitality up to 3. Now we'll look to see how round 5 pans out. KRÜ right away looking to make this one a heated round. Bladestorm burned up though, and not too much after the first kill. He's going to be caught backside. Oh, that's unfortunate for MrFaliN. Caught in the middle of his shrouded step, and it wasn't too shrouded this time. Lockdown in play. That's an attacker ult that's come in to push FUT out. They've got to push forward and destroy this, or fall back and turn tail. Looks like they've gone for the latter after it's destroyed. ATAKAPTAN in a 1v3, low HP on MOLSI. Destrian tagged up a bit. Oh, and an opportunity there to make it so winnable. Just 13 HP left on ceNder, but it's enough.
It could be a little bit different.
Well, the 6th round, a similar approach from Vitality, leaving ceNder to watch the extremities. Turret on mid, himself on C. But it is the pressure on A site, certainly a favorite of this Vitality side so far, and you can understand why. Heavy rotations have come in from FUT. Now, they're hearing a lot of noise, it makes sense, and they've got very weak weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where you tend to over-rotate a bit, but it's because you just need those numbers on the site. The fake that Vitality have sold has been read, though. There were 4 players on A just moments ago, and now they walk into C site. Utility meeting them there. Sure, you're not going to get that first nano off, unfortunate timing, but look who's waiting. KRÜ blinded, but he's got time, space, bought by his teammates. Flashes again going through. No one to capitalize on the space. Hunter's Fury fired out. Here come the players swinging, and they've caught them all. Vitality doing well to take control and keep it.
MrFaliN's flank, worst possible weapon. Maybe if he can kill Destrian, but the fact is Destrian's normally one of the players to be quite controlled in his actions. The only reason they'd want to push this way is as an exit. And when they don't know where this player is, well, there you go. Now have all the information possible. MrFaliN, I would be very surprised if he gets anything from this point onwards. Well, could quite fire off in time. And again, I just like the adaptations there from Vitality.
Tons of utility to work with. Ulti's not really online for either side right now. But ATAKAPTAN and mojj just 1 away each. It could swing either way. Vitality, again, looking at the A site early, clearing a lot of this control, and just making sure that if FUT are defending A, if they are stacking this site, they're stacking the site, not around it.
That's the thing. I think they've doubled up so many times towards this short position. You see a double shock dart thrown in just to try and clear one of the close angles of sewers. This is being expected now. So they've left ATAKAPTAN behind, but I don't know if that's going to bait out these players.
Vitality certainly seem to still be moving their way in here. Oh, the stun, it's not going to land though, and on the other side of the map, ATAKAPTAN's fallen.
Yeah.
They're pushed out of this site completely, and unless qRaxs is going to pop a flash and dive, oh, that's exactly what he's doing. He's on this site. Good for 1, but MrFaliN makes use of the distraction of the chaos to find a few more, but not enough. An operator in a 1 versus 2 retake. I don't know if you even go for this. So many angles to clear on the way through, and you imagine the trade will be quick from your opponents.
Yeah, you're basically reliant on a mistake. Like that's all you can hope for if you're KRÜ, that someone's going to overface, someone's going to try and take this weapon out of your hands. And look, I'll be honest, maybe if Twisten was alive, I'd believe that that was possible. He's the only one who I think would take that risk. ceNder and Destrian, absolutely no chance. They don't even give him the time of day. And I think now FUT are becoming too readable. Like that double up, we saw it literally a couple of rounds ago where they were stacked up like this, and you are seeing Vitality go, okay, we're going to double shot dart this angle, we're going to send the dart into this angle. ATAKAPTAN sat there like, we've baited them out. There's no way they expect instant dies.
Well for both squads, in fact. That off on defensive side, already picking up huge damage.
1 HP. incredibly lucky to be alive. Rolling Thunder available as well if they want. Actually with a close position here. Like, this is an operator with just basically fodder on the rest of the players. So it's down to Kiwi playing that rotational op. Already though, after spotting him on one side of the map, they've managed to avoid him almost completely. Now you do have the opportunity here for ATAKAPTAN to delay. Already utilized his stun. Rolling Thunder available. I'd be surprised if he uses it, but they've now got Kiwi in position again.
Yeah, great information taking from Kiwi, peeking out on C-Long. I think he might have caught a player just about rounding the corner to go back towards mid, and he realizes they're playing the A site. They love this site. They found so much success here. He's trying to get his way out of the site. Players left in the open. He swung back through. ATAKAPTAN good for one, not even with a rifle in hand. We look at the rest on site. MrFaliN shouldn't be able to get up to too much, yet somehow he's gotten a double with a stinger. But the advantage falls back into the hands of Vitality. Kiwi has them on lockdown from heaven, but he's moving out of position.
Left.
Good call. Smoke was on its way up to block him off. Now he's down below, watching the site, trying to catch one of these players out in a 1v1, but he's not checked his right corner.
Position.
Not checked it at all. ceNder good for 4 in this round.
Did you see how early he pre-fired that?
Yeah,
he
saw the barrel. To start out the previous map as well. You know, he was, what, 7-2 at one point, having a fantastic beginning to that. Good night, Moj. Really, it's the exact opposite of that story when you swap over to there. Sentinel, hello, MrFaliN, always good for 1, always good for 2, but that's about all he can do. qRaxs backing up the operator, a Kiwi, ATAKAPTAN's here spraying through the walls, and MOLSI might get 1, but that ain't the way to peek 2 players off as he's cocking back the bolt as well.
That lockdown also online. I feel like this almost becomes a game of chicken at this point. Who's going to put the lockdown first, and then the other player can basically just use it to deny?
Yeah, there we do tend to see quite a few cancels, I suppose, cancellations of the play.
Well, yeah, especially when Hunter's Fury isn't online, it's like, it's just a no-brainer.
They've spotted those players in that corner. Those players are going to be forced out. There's an off train on the angle, and it'll find the kill. As always, FUT coming ahead with that fight. 2 rounds on the board so far. Good opportunity for them to still end up on 5. And that'll be good foundations built for the further halves. Vitality about to attempt an ambitious play through this smoke by the looks of things. Maybe waiting for it to fade. And indeed they are. There's the fight on the back of it. They're not able to win it out. A smoke goes down. They're crossing in, but unaware of the angle that Moj had. He's been sprayed back through the smoke, but they still haven't spotted out MrFaliN. qRaxs drawing their eye, allowing him to grab 1. It's all he gets, but it should be enough. 1v2. Destrian backed into a corner here. They know roughly where he is. He isolates a 1v1, but now he's really putting a box. 3 bullets left. Kiwi only needed 1 of those.
Yeah, good couple of rounds from him as well.
A Vitality of 7 rounds. Don't know if that's a coincidence, but we'll see. Certainly seems to make sense to me. You take this man down, things get a whole lot easier. 4 ultis in play for FUT and 3 for Vitality. In a good spot to have some chaotic rounds to close this out. 2 left to play with. Oh, that reveal.
So close.
5 HP, man. It's dangerous. That wall is paper thin, and I think most people don't realize that until you're caught with a play like that. Wow.
Okay.
Ult's going to be thrown through. Now, I expect this is going to be brought back, right? It's used almost like a recon dart. Or rather, a really fast drone.
Well, Thrash will be back in. Again, another perfect ultimate ready for a retake if they need it. Kiwi's going to be forced off the angle by the drone. Again, it seems like a lot of this is Destrian's utility being put into play. Counter-paranoia will force them back, and the time now starting to tick for Vitality. 40 seconds left on this clock as they look to run their way back towards the C site. You can see, though, this time, I've been waiting for it, Mitch, it is a retake setup. And when you have Thrash and, of course, the lockdown available, I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Well, here we go, Twisten onto the side. I believe that Blade Storm was Kiwi's popped as he pushed up. He just had a turret kill on the MrFaliN. Moj, though, doubles it up. He's looking good in this round. Had a few rough events, but, well, able to deliver some hope for his squad. Perhaps good shot by Twisten, not able to correct in time. They'll take over the site. FUT getting closer to this now. The op trained on long. And there's Wingman already starting to defuse out in the open. Flash has actually caught them. They're gooped up. And there's the operator swinging through with the blades after. Gorgeous stuff for FUT. as they're pushing up to 4. We said that 7-5, still possible.
Very lucky to be alive in the first few seconds.
Well, you know, right at the start of the round, he wants to fire out a recon dart. He's got his spot to fire it from, and they know where it is. They're spraying him through the wall, almost taking him down. And Odin would have got that kill, by the way. But now we come into this last round with a low HP Destrian. Ult online. Could be huge. To delete that, I thought we were going to complete that, but it is in fact cancelled. 3-man stack up on a Killjoy close by, 1 man in the form of Kiwi, left with the responsibility of C, and it's the double stack up on short. Like you said, Tom, we've seen this a number of times. Bladestorm's going to be activated this time by Twisten. The dash in the updraft, it could be absolutely incredible for this squad. He's already got one. The distraction on short, good. Destrian, who almost died at the start, able to deliver, and Twisten, well, he is W keying it. You mentioned before, no one was kind of brave enough that was left alive when we had like Destrian and ceNder playing some normal Valorant. So they had the site, they had the plant, so they stayed back. Twisten only has a W key.
Yeah, he doesn't do that.
There's no retreat.
Honestly, I think if PaperX ever need a 5th, like that,
this guy up.
this is the guy that's sub in.
Here he comes. Look at the timing as well. Kiwi's going to be so frustrated with that. Twisten, 3 kills in the last round of the half. 8 for Vitality, but are already 1-0 up in the series. They could do it losing this one, pushing us to Lotus and giving us a banger 3rd map. Either way, we're the winners. Let's see which one of these teams is going to be walking away with a smile on their face after this map. It's Twisten to open it up, and MrFaliN to lose his life.
Yeah, they're trying to hightail it into the seaside, but look how many players are ready for this. Dizzy going to go through. Twisten's managed to get into the corner. I feel like they should have heard it. Maybe they haven't, but even still, they managed to get those openers. MOLSI's just about going to manage to dodge that aftershock. And a battle going down in mid as well. We'll just fall back. They don't expect him to be this close. A chance for a double, but KRAXs very quick on the response. The double instead comes from Destrian. And now mojj, post-plant, doesn't connect those initial shots. They know exactly where he is. They can start that defuse, throw through the utility, spam, connecting onto BONECOLD, but he's just sticking it all the way. Nothing that can be done by mojj, even with the kill on Destrian. And Vitality, they will get their second game.
Just a couple of pistols. Credits are in fact saved over for the next round. And already the opening kill to Vitality.
Denied the initial rundown and already killing off MrFaliN. I feel like this has to be a reset. The problem is FUT don't really have anything to play with here. Heading in towards that B site, cross being watched, although there's only a player with a drone. Destrian has to be a little bit careful here.
The Bulldog not quite landing at the start. Util through for damage, and the kill on the spray afterwards. Perfect stuff for MOLSI. So he's punished them at least for getting into the site. A lot of these players are tagged up.
Look how far back Destrian is gone.
He doesn't need to push forward, really, does he? Oh, they've lost MOLSI here. The defuse is underway. They're starting to crunch in. Another kill found. KRAXs on a double already, but they've defused right under their nose.
Okay. I almost
Not
think
ideal. Gonna be working with all the weaponry.
They got to do it again. That's the thing. The streak of rounds they had on the last map was impressive, but it seems like Vitality have come into this match very, very well prepared.
I'll be honest with you, Tom, you know, the amount of credits that Vitality have kept over here, they're playing with 2 sheriffs.
Yeah.
This almost has to be a clean round from FUT. I don't want them to be losing.
It hasn't spotted BONECOLD.
2 or more
The
players.
Dizzy didn't spot him. It flashed the player first.
Oh, no!
But he looks away, maybe expecting a second flash to come through. Tries to dodge it, and, well, eventually that ends with his demise. Kiwi, again. This man on the entry frag is an absolute menace in Destrian. He's so cursed with his drones today. He's just dead. It's so free. They paranoiaed him just in case. And mojj will combine. These bonus round scenarios have not gone well. They've not been kind to Vitality. And, well, how much damage can Twisten do? That's the only question at the moment.
I'm almost surprised with Kiwi. I thought he'd just be running it down towards their spawn to try and grab that Bladestorm, but wise choice to double up on any sort of over-aggression. mojj obviously on walkabouts.
Well, also they all have rifles.
That's
so
the difference.
If he had a Spectre, if he had anything even... I think even if he had a Bulldog, he might have gone for it, but maybe. You don't want to give Twisten a Vandal.
And that's it. Right now, Twisten could be sat there with a Sheriff in hand, you know? It's not... you know, depending on where he is, if he's on A-long or something like that, you don't necessarily want to be messing around, giving him some free opportunities. And that's why, look at that damage. At the end of the day, though, I don't think it's really going to matter. These players far enough away, they won't be punished by Spike. Twisten's the one that has to do it, and he won't find the kills. Well handled. FUT, I said they needed to win this one cleanly, and they... Well, the Logitech G power-up round, and already Lil Bro's gone out of the round. For now, might be recovered, but Twisten looking to punish if they do. A shot whizzes right past MrFaliN, but it won't land damage, and it won't get the kill. Seeing another player here. Some information to play with. I almost think Twisten, a normal player in this position, would be a bit hesitant to go for this swing, but as the timer ticks on and nobody makes noise, nobody gives away their position. It's a little bit of a mid push here, but not too much going on. This is where I expect the repeat to come through. Yet the patience of Twisten is admirable.
Yeah, they have got so many players here.
Monster on the...
Dash going to be sent through. I assume they're just going to shoot this out, or you'd hope so at least. Already managing to get through. Twisten still just hiding within the smoke. His primary weapon, the shorty, and in fact, after the initial push, they've managed next to nothing. Just almost keeping those 4 players within the site is the only benefit here, but ceNder, he's going to hear all of these steps. If he can catch one on the cross, this could be huge.
Flash through, and the other side was watched by mojj. Well handled again. FUT in a good position. The util's going to be dangerous. The stun going down, the sprays following. qRaxs goes down to 30. Chip damage that could help out when it comes to the retake itself, but Vitality needs something to spur them forward. At the moment, they have every position out of their... Oh, hold on. There's smoke on the back side. That's something to play with at least, but hold on, they lose every single fight. Never mind. I thought a chance maybe as they start to get some information, but everyone falling one at a time, no trades, and Vitality fall behind in this half.
Kiwi has just been phenomenal so far today, and Twisten already dead.
In window, they're in window already. Fast push up middle, but it's caught. They're quite aware here on the FUT side of what's going down, where these players are trying to regain the advantages lost with the weaponry they've brought in. I do like the idea of pushing mid, but this hasn't worked out categorically. There's one kill and a rifle to be retrieved, but the site has been lost. The plant is in, and the retake looking incredibly difficult with one rifle to work with. That's on Destrian, and it's no longer on Destrian.
No, Kiwi making sure that not really anything more. Again, they've got this double stack up. Can't really expect anything from him from there, and FUT, again, starting to climb this one back. The funny...
Well, Kiwi's going to start this out, not quite the cloud burst I think he was aiming for. Gonna look to hold down control late, so I think they're wanting to pull Vitality towards this A short aggression, towards the A long aggro. The way they do that, by looking elsewhere, short is going to be smoked off here. What's the idea and the intention? I think maybe reading off the early smoke that came down from BONECOLD that this squad has pushed up, that they've gotten a lot of control, and that's not true. It's actually just mind games being played.
Yeah, they're trying to work out where Twisten is, and that's the thing. A lot of the time, you're going to see this short push, maybe hoping that he would fire off an op shot and give the game away. Instead, though, the timing again might not be great for Destrian.
Found them.
Dart will give him some information. His drones almost every single time have ended up being cursed, but spotting now a couple of players deep. Shock Dart not going to connect onto anything, but it is pulling those rotations over. A little bit of support, but I think maybe seeing this as a bait early in the round. Instead, FUT are now just edging their way towards this A side, which as of right now is completely clear.
30 seconds left.
It's not like they have the retake ultis or util for it either. This could be tough for this squad. Already losing BONECOLD, your smokes are blocked off. ceNder's gone, flank protection out of the game. Maybe a chance. Look at MOLSI gets a kill, Rolling Thunder will be online, but that plan's come through, the players are safe, and the advantage is locked in. MOLSI trying to make his way forward. There's a stun held for his contact. Not even a stun, actually, an aftershock going through. The fault line can follow up, and Vitality have made the correct decision here. But just look at what FUT have to work with. You go for this retake, you lose the round.
But the other thing as well is this round was solely won off a lurk from mojj. Like, you didn't even have any contact on the A site. None. Literally, they walk into a free A site because mojj kills a player in mid, swivels expecting re-aggression out from Garage and gets that kill as well. Like, the power of his lurks at the moment are just causing issues for Vitality, because the fact is they can play a retake if they kill this man off. But they're failing at stage 1.
He's got great timing making it around that corner. The stun was there to catch him. He's dodged it. He's coming around. Good damage, but no follow-up on the kill.
I think this might be the man that they need to step up. Find them some sort of opener. Get them around that gets the blood pumping again. We know that when this team gets hyped up, they can thrive, but under pressure, the only team that seems to be working at the moment is FUT.
1:15 on the clock. Decision seems to be the C site. Garage stacked up with Killjoy utility Vitality. Gonna have a wave of players coming their way. That re-aggression was not even thought about by Kiwi. Why would he do that? Well, that's why, because you don't expect him. Twisten, just a madman, and he's got the results for it in this round. Whoopsie daisies. Sometimes that bot moves a bit faster than you think.
They've got a good read here, Vitality. Wingman through, used as bait, but the trade is instantaneous. Twisten doesn't connect the shot, and the paranoia won't do anything either. Time starting to tick down, and ATAKAPTAN leading that charge, but he's gone to a much better looking round for Vitality. Are going to take things up to 11, and it's Twisten that does
he is just insane. I think the one thing everyone will tell you is don't re-peek it up, and he did,
of course,
because that's how he rolls. Early aggression, but it's not finding much.
Yeah, stun combo attempted, maybe expecting a little bit of a further push. Is he going to confirm that nobody's fighting for that long control? It's a very passive stance, but with lockdown available, actually a Rolling Thunder only one orb away. Vitality are probably quite happy to play the retake here.
MOLSI's been one away for a little bit now. Had it in the last round as well, but unable to find any of those orbs. Certainly would love to have it online.
Are they going to push mid?
I don't mind, because the turret's been there like every round. I think that's information they had to deny. And with that destroyed, okay, it's going to be in the back of FUT's mind. They're probably going to have to commit one player at least to watching their back.
Look at them. They are hunting to try and find out where mojj is. A good start, though. Hunter's Fury is going to garner them one. Lockdown going to be placed, but as said, it's just going to be that counter. Plant already in. And neither side really gaining too much space. Do they have something to destroy this? They've gone into the site, going to catch one off guard. And the fact is, I think you're going to see a lot of players actually get detained. This is problematic. qRaxs, though, has managed to go huge, trying to find those remaining players who are still detained on the site, but they haven't caught anything yet. The flank also coming through from MrFaliN, spraying away wildly. He's the only man standing, but that time ticking in his favor. They're going to have themselves this defuse. It's going to be incredibly close in the end, but Vitality just about managing to get it over the line.
Impressive stuff there. I think even the beginning of that retake, this split, this is their map pick, but they've lost Kiwi. A straight spray through the smoke. Insult to injury that it's a Vandal. Yeah, not even a Phantom on that. And it's found the damage, found the kill. What a valuable scalp to take. Kiwi has been a menace to play against, and now he's gone. He's dealt with early round. Vitality, they don't have to do anything. They can just sit back and wait, especially with the Rolling Thunder to work with. Even if they lose the site, they can get right back in.
Thrash on the other side.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
That's why they're so
straight away you're going to see just duck out of that one. Get away from it. It's going to be picked back up, and especially in a retake scenario, this could deny so much space. They know that that's likely to be utilized again. It's all about the timing. Straight away, Rolling Thunder going to be thrown in, actually connecting onto the majority of players on short. They've cleared out one, but the trade's almost immediate.
Oh, a nano swarm kill as well. They were really keen to get back in there. They've already dealt with Thrash, at least. Not going to be a big problem for them, but one might be. This utility still left online, covering the left side, flash through. They're not going to use it. Using it late, confirming that there's no defuse still. The sprays are going to be needed here because it's halfway. Damage done. Destrian super low. Vitality need to get on this spike. It's halfway. They'll bait them out into the fight. Look to kill them after, but every fight goes FUT's way. A lifeline for this squad as they just had stuns traded by both sides. The A-long players caught, and everyone on the attack halted to begin this round. Certainly a contentious point of the map over here on A. This control being sought after round. Vitality love to take it towards this site, and it looks like FUT are very much in the same mentality. 3 players here. And I think the key thing being that MOLSI still with 2 flashes, still with an aftershock. He can disrupt the rhythm of FUT when they move to this site. They're waiting for Fault Line back online, I think.
Still a minute to play with. Maybe trying to put some doubts in the mind of their opponent. Kiwi looking to lead the charge again. No one else you want, but he's caught pulling out the blades. That's a problem. MOLSI stepping up, ceNder there as well. Just a couple needed and a huge triple kill that might have just ended this one. The only man standing though, MrFaliN, and look how far away the remaining players, it doesn't matter! ceNder is here to close it, trading maps. Do the same here.
Well, it won't be a slow start by the looks of things. Vitality's attack side focused up on C site. There was a turret waiting further back, but now starting to blitz their way forward. Corner cleared, nobody behind the box. Viper wall down for now. This is looking very good for them, at least getting close. And here's the chaos that they tend to thrive in, but MrFaliN's got 3! 4, in fact! He's stopping them all by himself! An ace in the opening round! We looked at his team.
He would have wanted to kick things off. They had won the majority of pistols so far in this game, but he has just destroyed them.
That is one hell of a way to kick things off for him. Had a good game previously as well, you know. He's not been playing bad in the series. He's always gotten like 2 and his side is pushed as well. But that's a little bit more to ask of him. Now, Kiwi dropped right away. You know, that little bit of an investment out of ceNder, it's paid off already.
It's disgusting. One of the best Marshall players we have in the EMEA, probably in the world as well. He is so good with this gun. Whether it's the headshots or whether it's the tag, good trade though.
Spike A.
On the ground, a push up from qRaxs, the assist master right now, paranoia into the nade, but he's still stood there. And actually the problem here is that Twisten's the one with the spike. So although MOLSI's managed to take this space, they can't yet get in an after plant.
That's got a blast pack to maybe try to cross, but I think they want that
B?
Viper wall up before that's going to happen.
MrFaliN's waiting.
Yeah, everything's locked down for FUT right now. Although MrFaliN now having to cover this angle in case of the walkthrough.
30 seconds left.
But it won't play any role. Vitality are set on the A site. The spike is making its way there. As I say, Twisten, I expected to blast back in and go for this plant, but they're checking everything before they do that. They've opened the door, maybe put it in the back of their minds that they might take the rotate, but in the end, the plant comes down. Already a very successful round for Vitality. And they're still in with a chance to take this one home. 2 Sheriffs and a Marshal. Mid-control still theirs. But the players are just closing in on sight, taking the closer range angles.
And this is going to be a tough post plant. They're almost going to have to rely on maybe a warbang or 2 here. Spike tap, Nano Swarm is going to delay a little bit of extra time. They know for now that nobody's on it, but ceNder's taken so much damage. They also know there's nobody within the smoke as they start to slowly pick them apart. Diffuse going to be coming through, not really anything that can be done about it. And after a shaky start to this round, FUT come out with 3 players. Take some early control. Just sat behind the Viper screen. Pot flash is going to be going through as you see that push instantaneously. Just getting that control back, and now Kiwi can get into a fairly nasty position. He is going to get pinged up. They know exactly where he is. Prowler through, and he'll just have to scurry away. But even still, wasting a lot of utility of the side of Vitality, and they haven't actually got the ground yet.
Well, Tom, I mean, they even used the paranoia there. Like, it's a lot thrown through for that control to get nothing on the back of it. I mean, we've seen the impact that MrFaliN's paranoia can have, you know? An ace in the first round, nothing to turn your nose at. Knife. This could be dangerous. The knife went out late on C. It went to mound. It spotted nobody. And it started to look like Destrian was going to take space. But instead, he's just sitting here watching for any further aggression. Vitality moving the spike. They pressured C. They pressured A. And now they're making their way towards this B site. Players still covering the wings as well. It feels like they don't want to push. Like, this is a squad just looking for some engagements.
Yeah, and almost trying to play a little bit with the rotations. Timing here going to be absolutely everything. Through they go. A great early start. In fact, qRaxs combining with his teammate. A spray down. Spike gathered back up, but where do you even go with it at this point?
15 seconds. There's nowhere to go. Every site's covered. Now the wall goes down. There's a gap open in the doorway.
10 seconds left.
You go to your spawn and take these weapons through. No chance. You're getting out of here with a victory. ceNder, he's going to lose his life. At the end of the day, this is not a round that FUT should have won. It doesn't come down to damage in the end and dropping their rifles.
Is he trying to keep control of rubble early on? A knife even going to give up that ceNder is still around that position. That's the thing, the way that Vitality play this map, you look at the comparisons to the last one. Fast pace, explosive. They're trying to play this slower style to catch any aggression, but right now FUT are getting away with everything they attempt. I almost feel like Vitality need to pick things up a bit.
That C's didn't hit. The nade just behind MrFaliN. He'll make it around the corner. He's safe behind the box. They knew he could be there. They tagged him up a little bit through it. But Vitality, they don't get the response that they wanted on this site. The result they wanted more so. And yeah, certainly with Destrian tagged low, it is time to look elsewhere. Swap weapons over. Give him the stinger. As the rest of the squad makes their way in towards this A site. 5 players here for Vitality. And it is just a lone man in ATAKAPTAN having to make this hold all by himself. Has a poison orb up, snake bite down in the door, but they've taken the space, they've taken the control.
Yeah, they're gonna put the pressure on. Even still though, this is where he seems to thrive. Second kill already, eventually ceNder will put him in the dirt. And actually, Twisten's found another. That rifle picked up prior, they're gonna use the Viper's Pit. They know where this has come from, qRaxs. Maybe a little bit wary to play within it, especially with the weaponry on offer. They might just try and deny them planting, and look at the time.
10 seconds, here it comes. Snake bite down, an attempt to drop that spike, and the kill comes in a second too late. They've got to get in there and defuse. Twisten's gone. It's only ceNder left. And once they find him, they could be able to take him down with the numbers. But pushing through that pit, this stinger becomes so powerful. These players so much lower. There's a tag and the follow-up. ceNder's got them all inside the pit. He's won Vitality's first.
The economy for FUT was gonna go crazy if they managed to win that round. Now, well, they lose this one and things get dicey.
I do like how much we're seeing ATAKAPTAN shift around. Like, he's playing A side anchor last round, now he's on B to help out. You've got your wall up and ready to block off the A main control early on once they start to apply pressure right about now. You'd imagine they'll be coming up any second. Now, for this squad of Vitality, they're not looking at an A push, right? This is not a squad that wants to just run it down. Instead, they're playing this one much more passive. You're making noise on A, even sending ceNder. Yeah, I mean, he's the right guy to send normally. He'll be your lurker. But on the Viper, it's a little bit different.
I would almost like to see them just get the orb on MOLSI, use that lockdown, use that showstopper, have the ultimate sort of space-taking utility.
There we go. There we go.
And it's actually going to pull players towards it for now. Just an attempt to try and deny them that initial space. MrFaliN, he's taken so many risks this series already. He's going to try and do it once again. Does actually get caught, but there's not really going to be an opportunity for them to pressure here.
No, there's no way for them to get close enough to do anything to that man. He is back online already. Kiwi eliminating ceNder. He had a good spot behind his wall, but Kiwi was ready for it. Now rotating very quickly in towards his teammates. No, not even. He's going to look for an A lurk. There's no one there. No one that he'll see anyways. The fight on the site going their way. And the denial of this seems almost impossible. Good showstopper, but 1 kill ain't nearly enough. A full squad on the other side of that smoke, and as it fades, they will deal with MOLSI right away. 4 rounds on the board for FUT. Both of these maps, they've had to fight back from behind. This time, they're taking a commanding lead.
The other thing as well is, the Viper's Pit used to win them around, and then lockdown and showstopper getting them a single kill is not really enough. And when those ults are still there on the other side, it makes it just that little bit worse. Now, Vitality, a lot of this early round has been just about farming up those ult orbs, and MrFaliN, well, I think that's his first kill since the ace. He won them the pistol, but even still, we've seen him have impact.
And here's the real, okay, ceNade. He's made it out, but right in the sightlines of Twisten. Well handled. I like that response. You know, losing Destrian sucks because you run out of smokes. You've already got your Viper wall put down on A. It becomes very, you're not going B, I'll tell you that, with the Viper's Pit there. So at this point, you know, you're kind of locked in on C for the time being. All your players are here. You've given up control elsewhere. Your turret ain't really getting you anything for now. And when you push on through, this squad is ready. Snake bite down. It should force it back, actually. qRaxs gives up a lot of space. They don't want to be over-aggressive here. They don't need to be keen to get the kills. They started out passive, and they ended in a completely different form. This man mojj taking a lot of risks. Now he's got another classic. He's crazy, but it's worked out for one at least. A follow-up from his teammate leaves ceNder all alone. Despite having a rifle to play with, he won't be playing with it for too long. 5-1. FUT getting better and better as it goes. Rifles in hand. FUT were very wise, though, to not overcommit, to save a lot of these ultimates. Lockdown still to work with, null command online. They can apply a lot of pressure to this squad. Kiwi, he's gone out with the operator. He won't find anyone, but the information is just as valuable. looking towards the A site now. These players are primed and ready. They're going to throw their utility at it. They're going to, oh no, they're going to look the wrong way. ATAKAPTAN's gone down. He thought qRaxs was covering it, but wrong he was. There's the first and second for qRaxs, but it's only recovering on the fumble earlier on. The advantage still sits with this attacking side. They've got the plant and the post plant. Huh?
Oh, Nightfall thrown in. Maybe just to try and almost cause some hesitation on the other side. Lockdown is still going to allow them that extra little bit of space, but no sound to be had. They don't actually know necessarily that they fell back through the door. Could still be a couple of players here. Spike tapped as they look to get back in. He's just sticking it, holding it all the way to half before the util comes through. But even still, they have managed to find one. And whiff shot initially from Kiwi, and the gun change isn't going to help. It's left all onto MrFaliN, and this time, Vitality are able to hold on. Lockdown burnt out.
Would have had a kill. I'll say that without a shadow of a doubt. But he smoked him off, put him in an awkward spot where he had to wrap through to side, and that's why we saw him take that weird fight where he's aggressive with the off, swap into a weapon. Pacier change to get close to Mount. Does it follow through on the side push? We've seen them double back before. Snakebite down inside the orb.
Oh, it's wonderful.
He's gone out of here completely. The range of those nades, it helps, but the snakebite, that's what really costs you your life on that. Vitality into the C site. Smoke a little late. There was a gap there. But no one's punished.
Ooh, almost BONECOLD. Maybe a little bit lucky to be alive, but this is one of the first times we've seen an actual retake having to be attempted for FUT. For the most part, they've been winning these rounds out before the spike can even go down. So many players losing their utility, but the lives of FUT are the ones to be lost. And this time out, economy on the brink, they've got to fall back.
It's the right call. 5-3 isn't a terrible scoreline to leave Vitality on, but if you throw your weapons away for this, you might be looking at an even scoreline a lot quicker than you're ready for. Opportunity to fight back in next if they save all three, and I believe they will. Operator on mojj as well. He's just 10 HP, so he is not going to be seeking any kills as these players come swinging around corners. Instead, they'll just be tucked in the tree, hibernating till the next round. And also wall banging, but you know.
They'll just have ready themselves.
But also, yeah, a different position that they throw that util through than what we saw before. And I think just adapting almost ahead of time. Hello, good spot by ceNder, but a weird fight. A big whiff coming out of him as he falls. ATAKAPTAN claims the A site for theirs. The rotates can happen, they can come through. And Destrian, that was bold, to put it lightly.
Yeah, I think that nade maybe needed to come through a little bit earlier. Now it's just reliant on individual brilliance to give them any little semblance of hope here. Twisten looking for something, but multiple players stacked up on the angle. And if anything, it looks like they're going to potentially rotate back. I'm calling questions now as to where Vitality actually plan to go. They haven't baited a rotation whatsoever.
I mean, there's still two firing squads waiting for them on the way through here. And of course, MrFaliN's good to lock that down. The double spray as they line up. He won't get the next, but he's traded in a heartbeat.
A little bit earlier would have helped him out, but either way, not a great look for Vitality. 3 rounds on this attack. FUT starting to run away with this, and a response necessary here.
There.
See, they're not making a ton of pressure on A. I think giving the opportunity for Destrian to catch over aggression on C, maybe pick some kills, but that won't happen. Then you got to look somewhere else, and unfortunately that showstopper is not reliable. Not when you're up against that null command as qRaxs cancels out their entry tool. They have to look for something else again. Down to their C plan of the round. And maybe it is still the A plan. As I said, Destrian trying to catch some C aggression. Instead, he had a player with his back turned, but caught with the utility and then dropped by mojj's swing. That is a tragedy we've just witnessed.
Yeah, and again, that they haven't moved. qRaxs waiting, still has support as well from ATAKAPTAN. And after plant to be had, but you can see that FUT are more than comfortable to try and play this together. Play this in that retake as they start their move.
The drop down on the flash. Safe corner for BONECOLD to play inside of. I like this. They're not expecting it, but he'll get nothing. Ada able to get his second in the round. A shutdown onto Twisten. And MOLSI, he might have the angle, but surely too many bodies to take down. It's flawless from FUT. 7 now confirmed. And Vitality have to be feeling this pressure. This is the half that You had to have hope they'd
this
show
team,
up.
but 7-3 up. Vitality basically winning rounds. Again, we spoke about it in the first match. It almost looked like blips on the radar of their opponent.
There.
And
What?
already MrFaliN just spamming through the smokes. He has been a sheer irritation from the very first round. Kiwi catches Destrian as well. They are starting to run away with this map. And they're already waiting on that cross. MrFaliN not going to overface here.
They're all coming into a mojj! He's got so much damage and support from Kiwi as well. There's nothing they can do wrong.
Their attack is normally where they thrive.
And funnily enough, I mean, it could be a 9-3 half again. They'll do it on the attack for the first time, and now on the defense. Surely Vitality can deny it. Here we go. They've caught Kiwi. No more of the same trickery of the free information he's been getting with the fast rotation. He can kind of take the risk. Now FUT needs someone else to step up.
The funny thing is he's got 3 kills. So
It's the information.
Sure.
He's constantly had them put in a box.
In terms of stepping up, it almost feels like a normal day at the office for the rest of the players.
Maybe
Ready and waiting. They know that there's a man here. mojj is going to have to be forced off the angle. And will do so. The thing is, there's 3 players within this B site.
They were
waiting
rotating
patiently. They've got lockdown, though. That was the goal from Vitality. Give them space.
I mean, it was a timing thing there with meeting so much resistance. FUT had started to rotate to the A site. Now, though, looking elsewhere, looking back towards C. This has been left wide open, bar the utility blocking for the last 30, 40 seconds. But now, when Vitality finally look to push this site, there's 2 players sat down, anchored on this site, ready for a fight. There could be an angle here, a workable angle for mojj. He's destroyed the lockdown just like that. Got a kill onto MOLSI. And then MrFaliN still on the site, a whiff to start, but it doesn't matter. He'll still deliver the kill. He'll get close to Twisten, but the shorties come out. 10 on the clock. We need ATAKAPTAN to shut this down, and he'll get both. 9 on the board for FUT. A Red Bull clutch for ATAKAPTAN.
With that roster, they held on to, they trusted making their way through, but they still have a few more rounds to go.
Well, the paranoia from Destrian not having the same impact as MrFaliN's in the pistol, but I think we can forgive that. Still online for MrFaliN as well when they make this push through. Viper wall up to the right side, stunned to begin, and they're in. There goes the paranoia up towards heaven, where they've actually spammed a few players down low as this push is happening. Vitality of Destrian on 1 HP, but here comes the whole Twisten, answering up with a triple kill, and no chance for the spike to be planted. ATAKAPTAN, the newest addition to this roster, now has a 1v5 in front of him, Tom, and you know, he has been fantastic in this series. Look, 10-5 right now on this map. But maybe a bit much with a classic to take down the whole enemy team. Let's give him a shot.
Oh, so if he had a ghost, you'd believe?
Frenzy, I think he gets it.
You believe he would 1v5 ace with all 5 players in the same place with a frenzy?
2 of them are low.
But then again, you are an Odin believer, so you know, you're already a bit off the
I just think he just needs to get that frenzy and spray. All right? That's all he needs to do.
I like this, though. Just, you know what? Just go on an orb collecting mission. Just run around the map. The thing is, he does kind of need to die at this stage. Not really worth holding on to that weapon to end it. Then you know what? He's taken Twisted as well. See how many he can get? The others are running away. They're out of there. They're like, you know what? I don't want this smoke. Oh, no way. No way.
He had a frenzy there.
I was looking at Salah's face. Salah's face was the one that got me there.
Oh, wow. Hopefully not a sign of what's to come if you're a fan of Vitality.
Oh, look, ATAKAPTAN could afford a sheriff this round.
Could he? I wonder where he got all that money from.
Oh, yeah.
All those
A few
creds.
extra credits. Yeah, he doesn't even need to go around collecting orbs because he's guaranteed got the Viper's Pit unless he decides to save said sheriff. There we go. Got there in the end.
They know that someone's pushed up on C. And what a round it'd be to have that Viper's Pit online, but ATAKAPTAN's not going to waste it here. This is one they know they should lose.
Can't use that.
But at least getting a plan through. Already a positive. Nade's going to cause problems. Going to send them running, send them scattered. And when the fights come down to it, now that they've got shields, now that they've got some rifles, you imagine they won't get all too much done. How much damage will be found? Very, very little. In fact, It's flawless from Vitality. They've allowed a plant, but that's good enough.
Flawless.
Yeah, I want to see how Vitality play this next round. Because the thing is, you've got Twisten on a rifle.
I think Vitality will benefit decently from being able to get up close. They've got a lot of silencers, like 3 Spectres brought in as well, and that's a hell of a pain to come up against. Now, I do think that it's a good enough idea if you manage to grab some kills early round just to secure the victory, because like your old cycle is normally coming into round 3 or 4, you're going to have 1 or 2 that you can pop, and you'll get them back online. You'll have your teammates' ultimates coming through. But he's so far ahead of everyone else in the team now that I really don't mind if he just keeps it. They can dedicate those orbs to other players. Movement up towards A. A close fight here for ceNder. Spraying. The silencer keeps him concealed for now. He's not able to find a kill, but at least holding strong. Falling back and allowing MOLSI to grab that frag instead. ATAKAPTAN dancing around the site. Great positioning. That's 1 for free.
Welcome to my world.
Viper's pit used, but he's actually just escaping off the edge of it, and everything looking squeaky clean up until Destrian manages 1. ceNder gonna throw out some util. The spam not far away. A very low HP ATAKAPTAN sits within.
30 seconds left.
And they're instantly gonna flee. Viper's pit no longer worth it. And ceNder has a decent idea on that rotation, but he's got to be so careful of not only the player behind, but also the 2 that sit within the site.
5 HP on ATAKAPTAN. He is super, super passive, playing out towards the spawn, just essentially a recon dart for them in this round, a trapwire of sorts. mojj with a salt.
Kiwi's instantly going to start taking that space. You can see the defense starting their rotation fairly early. The steps heard by ceNder, and he doesn't have a lot of support here. The early round control was a battle in towards deep sea. But they're going to have a lot of players here, but it's just a walk-up. Kiwi with a freebie. Seas! And they've got 1 with the Seas. Not going to be able to trade too much else out, but they've managed to keep the advantage in their favor for now.
Huge to at least grab that 1. That became a little closer than I expected it to be. It's going to be an easy kill, I guess. If they spray him through the smoke, we'll know exactly what happened. Showstopper, Showstopper used to close in on the site. Worked out well, actually. Ended up going over the paranoia. Hasn't gotten the much, though. Defuse tapped. Halfway now. Poison orb up. Snakebite in. And there's the kill. BONECOLD and Twisten both falling. The time, I think they got it half, though, right?
Yes.
It's very close. So they don't have to be terribly worried about it. Smoke goes up. Spray in. MrFaliN good for 1. ATAKAPTAN with the other. FUT on 11 now. Just 2 more needed. And they can start looking at this event. Well, he's got 4 kills right now. It's fair to say everyone else stepping it up massively. And ATAKAPTAN leading that charge. I said, you know, his breach last game, you might look at him and go, oh, but he wasn't killing anyone. He's trash. Just look at him now. Snakebite in. Oh, it's dangerous for Kiwi. He's gone straight into their utility. But he still finds MOLSI. You know, that could have been the kill for Vitality. Could have been a weapon picked up instead. Back to square 1.
Destrian's the only one with a gun, and that's already gone. The rest with stingers, a pistol. Oh, ceNder's managed to kill, but that is all she wrote. Just BONECOLD remaining.
Spike planted.
Maybe gonna try and reposition, try and find the rifle, but that ground has been taken. There's a firing squad on the other side. Somehow he's got 3! The Nightfall sent through. He's gonna connect onto mojj. That's the information he needs.
Has a reveal.
Utility to play with, but post-plant util on the other side. He's not gonna be able to hear that spike being tapped, but it won't matter now. That time has been bought. BONECOLD looking to try and pull off a miracle, but he has to take down that turret. Time being bought by mojj, but he's just sticking. He's holding it all the way through. BONECOLD, he's not gonna get it. He kills him at the very last second. And that wouldn't have been enough.
Oh, man, that's ridiculous. What a nice try from BONECOLD. For Vitality, though, that might be all this series comes down to. A nice try, but elimination now facing them. 7 in a row to get back up, play an OT, and try to win it here. Send themselves to Japan. What a task that sits in front of them. And FUT, they just need to tip it over the edge now. They've done all the hard work. They're grabbing orbs as well. mojj is going to have his lockdown, Tom. This could get very, very scary for Team Vitality.
there's basically nothing on the other side. A Viper's Pit, a lockdown not too far off from MOLSI, but I think by the point he'd get it, they would already have got themselves into a decent spot. Lots of util available. A nade ready. Nano swarms as well. They are waiting for some form of contact. Timing going to be everything. Twisten can't afford to just go down here. And as they run through, it's going to be an insta-kill onto qRaxs.
Down B. 30 seconds left.
Great damage. I love the combo. The nano swarm going down at the same time. Paranoia used up right side just to get the plant through. The C's has landed, but these players... Oh, the Paranoia too. That's gorgeous. Robbed mojj of any information. The follow-up not there.
No.
Kiwi's turned and gotten a kill. That might just give them the chance to close this out. Halfway defused already. MrFaliN has to deny it. He has to pull this player off the spike. He's done it. It's halfway though. And there's a player to defend. There's MOLSI finding that kill. Plenty of time left. And another chance for Vitality.
Yeah, really nice work from them. Realizing where that lockdown
And they maintain the side control. And even if they lose it, at least they get the kill. They get a ton of damage onto the rest. That's a good initiation from Vitality, but you won't have a predictable thing like a lockdown next time. Instead, it's going to be things like this. Players swinging out wild. Good thing to at least check up top, make sure he wasn't there. He came swinging from another orb, but he falls right after.
Good trade. Twisten spotted, but he's going to win that battle. mojj a little bit ahead of anyone else, trying to punish and failing. A man advantage in play now for Vitality. BONECOLD, the contact waiting, and qRaxs has found two. Somehow, again, they pull it out of absolutely nothing. Man advantage and the swing from Kiwi. This might just be done. It's left onto ceNder. The world on his shoulders here to try and save Vitality. A 1 versus 3.
Smoke's gone out to the right side. He's at least left open. Final chance for Vitality. 5 more after this round. It's an uphill battle. And he can't find anybody. That time is ticking away. They've got the setup here. A Viper's Pit to come in, and qRaxs deals with it.